Turkish Airlines could be so good in economy class, but it fails so spectacularly in one area? We'll cover the entire Turkish Airlines economy experience from the seat to the food to the service today on Markus Travels. This trip begins in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. We start off with a flight of 5 hours and 10 minutes into Istanbul, where we're going to transfer to Basel, Switzerland. The length of that second leg is 3 hours and 10 minutes. I paid for this trip myself, and Turkish Airlines definitely did not know that I was going to make a video. Welcome to Abu Dhabi International Airport. Definitely one of the weirdest looking airports in this region. It's around midnight. I'm a little bit tired, but I am in good spirits because I'm looking forward to a nice flight with Turkish Airlines over to Istanbul. I booked this ticket in business class, but ended up swapping seats with my friends so that I could try the economy class experience again. And economy class at Turkish Airlines does have a pretty good reputation. Let's put that to the test. Arriving at Abu Dhabi Airport, we took an Uber from Dubai. It's about 1.5 hours from the Dubai Marina. The priority check-in at Abu Dhabi Airport worked really well. Even though we were a mix of business and economy class passengers, they allowed us to check in together, which was really nice. Usually I do hand luggage only, but this time I checked in my Osprey backpack all the way to Basel, Switzerland. At Abu Dhabi Airport, there is no priority security, but they did have a bit of security theater. Just before you scan your boarding pass to get through the security line, there was a gentleman who said, "I have a few extra kilos of baggage. Would you carry them through security for me?" Now, obviously, the answer is no. That's like rule number 1, carry your own luggage. And I think this was a very nice way of checking if people are actually following those rules. I've never seen this exercise at any other airport. Because of my elite status, we got 2 passes for the lounge. And that lounge was a total zoo. We could not even find 2 seats together, which makes sense because this is the kind of lounge where anybody can pay to enter. I was also told to stop filming, so we left pretty much right away. The first impression I got of this lounge was not great. In Istanbul, Turkish Airlines does have a very nice lounge, but unfortunately we did not get the chance to visit it because our flight out of Abu Dhabi was at least an hour delayed. The boarding process was complete chaos. There was no information about the delay and also no enforcement of the priority boarding. In terms of seats, I'm going to combine my experiences from both of today's flights. From Abu Dhabi, we flew the A321neo with the updated cabin layout, and from Istanbul to Basel, we flew in an aircraft with the old cabin layout. That was also an Airbus A321. On the first flight, I had an exit row seat number 13 Delta. There's lots of space here, and this is actually a really nice economy seat experience. The seat has a movable and adjustable headrest. On the second flight in the old cabin, I had a seat number 25 Alpha, and that seat was broken. The top part of the seat moves around and cracks. This is really not good. The legroom in this seat is very limited. In the new version of the seat, there are these clever seat pockets for your phone, and that's pretty much it in terms of special seat features. The in-flight entertainment on Turkish Airlines is very good, and this applies to both the old and the new cabin. The selection of movies and TV shows is extensive, and in addition, there's content from LinkedIn Learning on this in-flight entertainment. I've never seen that before. The flight map is really good. It has a lot of options and adjustments, and it also shows you the prayer times. Turkish Airlines offers gate-to-gate in-flight entertainment in economy, and in one way it's actually better than the business class experience, because in my experience in business class, the crew does collect the headphones before landing. The in-flight entertainment system does warn you if the movie that you have selected is longer than the remaining flight time, which is really handy. Another highlight of the in-flight entertainment system is that Turkish Airlines makes available a special version of the safety video for travelers with disabilities, which is really great. On the first flight, there was supposed to be Wi-Fi on board, but I was not able to connect. My phone just got stuck on obtaining IP address. On the second flight, there was no Wi-Fi at all. If you're getting value from the video, hit the like button. Thanks for doing that. Now let's have a look at the lavatory, and this is a completely standard narrow body lavatory experience, maybe with the exception of the full-length mirror and the red accents. The bathroom is perfectly functional. This video is from the Airbus A321neo version, and this clip is from the vanilla A321. Turkish Airlines is well known for great food on board, and here's what I had on the first flight. The salad and cheese are pretty basic, but they're good. The brownie, on the other hand, was a bit dry. I didn't finish it. The main dish here was a dish made out of layers of pasta and mushroom, and then this toast on the side. I believe this dish is called börek. It was pretty tasty. The toast, on the other hand, was a bit dry, and I didn't finish that. The bread roll came with butter and a very yummy sour cherry jam. Would recommend. And here's the meal from their second flight. The yogurt up here was amazing. It was so fresh and not particularly sweet. I wonder if this is some kind of Turkish yogurt. It was super yummy. For the main dish, there was a hot breakfast, which was decent. Once again, the toast was not outstanding, and I ended up not finishing it. Now let's jump over to the studio and talk about service on Turkish Airlines, both on board and on the ground. Let's begin with what I believe is an isolated incident. One of the flight attendants actually smiled at me when serving my food, and based on my experience flying Turkish Airlines for more than 10 years, I believe this is a violation of company policy. I really hope that she didn't get into any trouble, and rest assured, none of the flight attendants on any of these two flights showed any tendency towards smiling, completely in line with Turkish Airlines practice. The service on board Turkish Airlines is curt, distant, and silent. When the flight attendants handed over the food, they said nothing. No, enjoy your meal. No, here you go. Simply nothing. There was also no, how are you doing? What would you like to drink today? Rather, it was, what drink do you want? It does get worse when we talk about the ground service. Hit the subscribe button for more videos right here on Markus Travels. As we landed in Istanbul, we got a notification on the Turkish Airlines app. The notification indicated which baggage belts we could use to pick up our luggage in Istanbul, but our bags were checked through all the way to Basel, Switzerland. A reasonable interpretation of this notification is that we would have to go landside in Istanbul, collect our bags, and then recheck them again and go back airside. Because of the delay with the departure from Abu Dhabi, there simply was no time for this. So we approached the Turkish Airlines transfer desk in Istanbul airport and asked them about this notification. I showed the notification to the agent at the transfer desk, and I asked him, is it really correct that we have to pick up the bags here in Istanbul? Unfortunately, the agent didn't understand the question, and he was not familiar with this notification. Unfortunately, the agent at the transfer desk didn't really speak English, and none of us in our party is fluent in Turkish. My friend even asked, would it help if we spoke German or French instead, which makes sense because a lot of Turkish people do speak those languages. That didn't help either. This was extremely bad customer service by Turkish Airlines, especially when we're in a stressful situation. The flight was already delayed and we are about to miss our flight. The gentleman at the desk was clearly struggling with English, and unfortunately none of his Turkish Airlines colleagues stepped up and helped him out. More generally, if you want to position yourself as a global airline, you have to ensure that your customer-facing staff speaks the most common language. And like it or not, English is the international language. I'll give you one more example of Turkish Airlines customer service. On the flight from Istanbul to Switzerland, on board we had a gentleman with special needs. He was clearly very stressed about something. While I was waiting for the bathroom, I saw that his helper tried to call the cabin crew by pressing the button multiple times. They only reacted on the third try, as far as I was able to tell, because they were busy with the food service. Now, I don't know how to create a great experience for passengers with special needs, but I think some training of the cabin crew would be in order. Especially when Turkish Airlines has this special safety video for disabled passengers. I really got the impression that they wanted to be inclusive of differently abled guests. Now let's get back to the story. Our flight arrives safely in Basel, Switzerland, and I'm happy to report that our bags did make it through the connection in Istanbul. My bag did have a priority tag on it, but it seemed to have no impact. There were lots of bags that came out before mine. Welcome to the EuroAirport here outside of Basel, Switzerland. This flight with Turkish Airlines in economy class is over, and it was certainly a big old mixed bag of experiences. So what is my current recommendation for Turkish Airlines? Well, if you value decent airline food, or you want an in-flight entertainment that is better than most intra-European carriers, then I think you'll be satisfied with Turkish Airlines. But if you value friendly and competent service that's available in English, or if you want your flights to be on time, then there are much better choices for flying from Europe to the Middle East. For many more reasons why I don't recommend Turkish Airlines, click or tap the screen right here. That's my business class experience flying from Europe to the Middle East. Thank you very much for watching Markus Travels.